to episode 30.
What?
30 episodes
The dirty 30
of this game. So welcome all to Evrand number 30. It's been a very interesting wild ride that's gone nowhere the way I had planned it to.
Never
Largely because of Pat, although recently because of Sean.
What'd I do?
You left.
Fair.
Oh, and Celine also left.
Yeah.
Staple here. Hasn't caused too much issues at the moment.
Too much?
Too much.
Just a little.
Just a little. And you did kind of cause Oz to leave in a way, I feel like.
To be fair, that was.
I think there's more on the horse, of course.
Yeah. I think that was Patrick.
Hey.
Wave.
Being himself, and people wondering why he's
They're
like
similar in that respect.
Long story.
Why
but
are
I
they
got
like
knocked out
that?
a couple of times.
Well, why are they like that? It's a good question. I find myself asking that at least once an episode.
So I think Oz was putting up with Rick fine. I don't think Rick was the problem.
I think that was the straw that broke the camel's back.
Yeah.
It was when even Rick wasn't taking him seriously, then he knew it was time to leave.
Yeah, that's fair.
Top shots.
I think it was probably a lot because Oz just like
gonna go
freaked
down?
out on him out of nowhere that
No,
Rick
down as far
couldn't
as I
take
can go.
it seriously. A little more up.
What's up? Hello, Susan.
There we go.
Perfect. Oh,
Like poozing.
There we go.
Poozin. Hello, Poozin.
The word
Poozin.
90% of the people
Nerd
aren't
Immersion.
going to probably even get the Susan
Out there.
reference.
Oh no, it's that's you need to be a real hardcore Nerd Immersion fan to get the Susan reference.
yeah.
So, a couple of announcements to go through at the start before we jump into the game. Sponsored by Initiative Coffee Company.
I drank mine
Thank you,
already.
Brian and
Shoot,
team.
it's so good.
We're also sponsored by Elderwood Academy, and if you see around the table, there's a plethora of Elderwood Academy products here. Speaking of, if you like pretty much anything except for this dice box, because this
have it.
box doesn't exist yet, and you're going to be at PAX Unplugged, where Sean and I will be next week. Elderwood Academy will also be there, so if you want to go pick up stuff, and rather than wait for it online, or at least pick up and sample the product, take a look at it, see what you think, mix and match. You can see the different builds. They have a whole bunch of different options there. You can do that.
Do it.
And I can't say that anything will happen, but you should tell them that Nerd Immersion sent you.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't say that anything won't happen,
No.
because I don't know.
Something will happen.
Something will happen. It might just be like, oh, you know Ted? And that'll be the end of the story.
Like, no, but I've seen him online.
That works too. So that is that. We're going to be at PAX next week. Lots of games, lots of crazy times. If you happen to randomly be a vendor there with a cool product that you want to have someone interview you about, let us know. Right now, I've only actually received like 3 notifications from vendors, and it's the same people. They really want me to come check out.
Slugfest games?
Not Slugfest, but Slugfest would, if I asked them, they would say, sure.
Who did that?
It's fine. Well, I think last time I reached out to them, because I was like, I have the list of all the vendors, and I'm like, hey, Slugfest, we should do an interview. They're like, cool. And then we did. Usually it's a lot of indie games that are, or they're like lower, lesser known games, or people may know one game in a library of 30. That kind of a thing. Also,
Now you're kind of off Pat's head. Pat, does your chair go down more?
Pat also 9 times out of 10 is either leaning back or leaning forward. It's very rare that he sits up.
Fair.
I'm Jewish and I'm praying. Like the guy that was praying in front of my door when I was born. He was Jewish. And my dad was like, what are you doing? He's like, I gotta face in this direction and pray. So there I was being born as he was praying.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Probably close.
Yeah.
So,
Anyway, tomorrow night at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. It's gone. I will be on another stream. It's twitch.tv/The Mighty Dungeon, where I will be playing Cleric. If you want to come out and see that game, you should do that. I'll be there. And there's also interaction with the chat about 1 to 3 times per stream. Something pops up on the middle of the screen and will have you vote for different things, and that will cause different things to happen. Last time it was a guy named Pickle Gary, I want to say his name was.
I'm Cucumber Gary!
No, his name was Pickle Gary because I made a joke about it later because they were like, he was just supposed to be a guy, his whole process was he was just supposed to show up and be like, seems like you guys are in a bit of a pickle. And then he walks away. And that was the whole encounter. But the party was just like, I grab his wagon. And then the DM was like, turns out that he's a pretty powerful spellcaster with Fireball, and you guys are level 4. So he took out almost the whole party with one fireball.
Don't mess with Pickle Gary.
And then like they came into the town where I was a cleric in the church, and they're like, I was like, what happened to you guys? And they're like, Pickle Gary. And I was like, Cucumber Frank. Whatever. What's that even mean? So it's interesting, to say the least. One of the characters is a Goliath barbarian. The best way I can describe him is Majin Buu mixed with Mike Tyson. So if you think about that,
Shit. Wow.
That's an interesting character.
It's almost like Reverance, but like younger.
But not even close.
No.
So anyway.
Reverence and Mike Tyson have almost nothing in common.
And neither does
They're
Majin
really
Buu.
hard hitters, and he's like purple and pink. Close. And he's a tiefling, so he's got a little bit of that demon blood in him. Boo's got a little demon in him, if you know what I'm saying. He's wild. He's wild. He's crazy.
I don't know who Majin Buu is.
Oh, well, that helps.
Majin Buu. Oh, we're off to a great start, guys. You're in for a treat tonight. I'll tell you that much. Internet, we're not gonna get anything done.
No.
That's something.
Oh, shit.
Hadn't thought of that.
Got something done.
Easily defeated.
Fuck it.
Alright, so who remembers what happened last time?
Reverend showed up.
Yep.
Crawled out of the ground.
We killed some dirt.
Yeah.
A big pile of dirt that tried to eat us. We went back to Karrak-Faern. Wave attempted to present the queen with a horse, which didn't work.
No.
Well.
Rick got new knuckles.
Yep. We did rob my house, Rick's house.
I saw his diary. Totally reading it.
Totally reading my diary.
Yeah.
And then we also met with Queen Andy Fireforge and presented her with the distress that's currently going on in Brickett's homestead, and mentioned the name of the dragon. I can't remember. Straxus, which Rick can't remember. He's been hit too much in the face. Remember things well.
Sure.
Which seemed to spark interest in the Dwarven Council. So we got told to like park ourselves for a little while and see what's up. And that was pretty much it. We hung out with Craig McKnuckles. Rena started punching a big barrel of rocks.
And that is true.
And
the Reverence grew 10 inches.
yes.
He's so
We had to
tall.
find my breastplate stretcher.
Yes.
They're so good
Stretch
to see with him getting so tall.
Yeah, Rena's really good at sneaking though. So that
I will be better at sneaking than both of you, even though I am 6 foot 11.
11.
Yep.
7'3".
Not sneaky.
That was the one thing I have to
Steam
change from
shoots
my
out
other
of
version
armor.
to this one.
Only when it's the most inopportune moment.
Oh,
Not really. It's just,
when I hit crit.
yeah.
Okay.
Or
Everybody has
a little
skills.
extra in the swing.
Everybody has skill sets.
so. All right. So you guys managed to do all of that last time. What would you like to do? Or we presume you guys have not taken a rest.
Yes.
What would you like to do? Rest.
Yeah.
And assume that was coming.
For like a long time.
I'd prefer that, yes.
Yeah, that's. I'm gonna drink with Craig McDoubles. He can talk about the old times. I'll just not instead.
Okay.
I don't remember good old time. And
Yeah, that's true.
I'll ask Reverence to be like, hey,
Yes.
how's it feel being that much taller down here in the tunnels?
It is inconvenient at the
Yeah.
moment.
You feel like a little like off center, or does it just feel normal?
Nah, it's fine.
Ah, cool. Yeah. All right. Well,
Yes. It will be.
I hate snoring. Do you snore?
I am unaware if I snore because when I'm sleeping, I can't hear.
I know, but I figured maybe at some point somebody was like, you do or do not snore. I leave the room that waves it.
Okay. Fair. I got that.
Thank you.
I had gathered. What about you?
I mean, I'm probably sleeping in a corner somewhere. I mean, we're in his house right now. What's his name?
Craig McNuckles lives in a dwarven retirement home.
Oh.
So, I mean, technically we could stay there.
He said you could stay there.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Or sleep in like the training grounds that he built out back where all the broken doors and rocks and all that
So
shit.
I'm gonna curl up with Dad Cooper. A little nappy poop.
Okay. You're doing that. You guys are both, you're drinking, you're sleeping.
I'm out cold.
And you're out cold. Okay. Everybody sleeps through the night.
Ow, this is still really tender.
That'll happen when you drill metal into your hand.
Do you need any healing for that? Or?
No, you're supposed to just let it go naturally, or else they might reject or something. What do you like for breakfast, Reverance?
I usually subsist on whatever the temple gives me, so anything you provide will be adequate.
Yeah, like what do you like?
Is there anything you don't like to eat?
Not particular. If it is edible, I will.
Give him something gross. Let's see if he eats it.
And then I'm gonna message in Abrina's brain, you're not good at whispering.
So what are you gonna
Sneaky
eat?
giant you. I know you're not actually a giant.
So I
You're
start up a
tall,
fire.
So that turned out as in terms of race.
And I make a really thin.
Thank you.
Well, first I'm gonna go shopping because I haven't had the chance to do any shopping in dwarven cuisine in a while.
Is everyone going with you, or are you going by yourself?
You're welcome to come.
That wasn't my question.
I'm gonna read a book about the frost salamander.
I was wondering if that was ever gonna come back around again.
And I'm gonna research how long it's gonna take to hatch, and I'm doing that off screen.
So,
Okay.
I'll chill with Wave and read my book
Oh, alright.
while he's out shopping.
Okay. So what are you just going for food?
Oh yeah, I'm just getting some
Like
stuff for
supplies.
breakfast and whatnot.
Okay. Sure.
I will remain here with the majority of the party in case my target appears.
But what if your target ends up where Rick is?
I was told it would appear where the party is adventuring, and most of the party is here.
But I'm the only one currently adventuring.
It's true, we're just in a rain, it's not very adventurous.
Anyway, I leave.
Okay. You.
As the good book says, that's no moon. Then I walk away.
Fair enough.
Alright. So you guys are reading books and I'll figure out what Wade does when he gets back. But here's a question.
Right.
What is she reading?
Oh, in the diary?
In your diary.
This diary was back before I lost my memory.
Sure.
So it's I don't know, because I never read it.
Well, you had to create it, so
Fair enough.
I'm not gonna put words in your mouth.
Do you want a minute to write something down? Like write me pages from your diary?
Or do you just know? Or make it up as you go along?
Sure, I'll make it up as I go.
It's a 50-page treatise on dwarven beard maintenance.
No, Rick's got a wild beard.
He does now.
That's true. Back in the day, he didn't. He
Yeah.
did it together. But no, that wasn't like an important facet of his life. It was something he did because it was important for society.
Does he start?
Your sentence was just, it wasn't important to him. He just did it because it
Important.
was important.
To everyone else.
Important
Okay.
question here.
Okay.
Do you have different entries to the diary, and do they start with Dear Diary?
There are dates in the diary, but none of them start Dear Diary. In fact, most of them start with just like a list, like a checklist of things that got done that day.
Okay.
So, talking about working in the forge, working on, cooking, and how like you'll read like at the beginning of the diary that like a lot of Rick's cooking skills were actually pretty bad, and like people just had to like grin and bear through his cooking. You'll also realize that Rick wasn't always quite so angry as he is now, and that he fought with a lot more finesse and a lot more, like judiciousness and a lot less like reckless abandon. He'll talk about training a lot. He'll talk about, how he used to be friends with Andy Fireforge back before she was queen, because she was also a smith, and they kind of worked near each other, if not with each other, all the time. The beginning of the diary starts before the majority of his adventure happens.
Does he talk about, was the family before, was his family before? Or
after, because there was
nothing about his family.
Not if you're starting at the beginning.
I am starting.
Yes.
So nothing yet.
No, this is like how Rick ended up going through and becoming a member of the Royal Guard, and how he had spent a bunch of years there under the old king before Andy. Just basically about, just like a lot of like hoorah, glad to be part of dwarven life and style stuff. But it's like at this point it was very like every single day, maybe not even like more than like a quarter of a page entry, just about like training regiments and like how many push-ups he did and stuff like that. So it won't be until later that he ends up meeting.
Well, don't tell me all of it right now.
I don't know how good of a reader. I mean, I imagine pretty fast reader.
Yeah, but like,
but Rick's got terrible handwriting.
Exactly.
All right.
So in order to work your way through it, it takes a while.
I mean, how big is the diary? How thick is it?
I had the thought tonight.
It's
spooky story.
Not that thick.
Or should have done the
So I probably get through like
aristocrats.
The first
how long are you gonna be out shopping?
And then afterwards, when it was like that was supposed to be scary, but
I probably get through the first
I misunderstood.
Couple pages. Like if it was a book, it'd be like the first
Hindsight,
few chapters.
Mr. Chandler.
Chapters. Yeah.
Fair enough. The beginning of Rick's life.
Exactly.
All right. Wait, you can make me a check. But did I have you make nature checks before?
Animal handling.
Animal handling. There you go.
What was it? Animal handling?
Yeah.
22.
22. Alright. So reading through it, if you manage to do everything right by the book, keeping it in the proper conditions, tending to it when it requires tending to, you think that it will hatch in approximately 30 days.
All right.
There you go. And you're just hanging out.
Yeah. I'm just praying, doing, deathy things.
Alright. Well, unsettling in a retirement home.
Fair. I don't walk around to all the inhabitants going, see you soon.
Yeah, right. There you go.
Don't do that.
They're actually kind of cool with it.
Yeah, fair.
Alright, so you go out shopping, Rick, to get supplies.
Yes, I'm gonna do classic dwarven breakfast, which is very much so like a classic like English breakfast. Heavy on meats, eggs, sausage links, beef patties, fried beans, bacon, bunch of different stuff, and then and beer.
Sure.
Okay. Except for Brina, she gets milk.
Great.
Fair.
Okay. Yeah, you're able to get all of that. We'll dock you for how much? For just one day's like just this breakfast, or are you gonna also get supplies for the future?
Well, I'll get like 3 or 4 days worth of supplies, just that way I can not have to go shopping again immediately.
2 days, 4 days, and just for the 4 of you, right?
No, 5. I'm getting stuff for Crag too.
So we'll call it 10 gold.
How much gold do
For
I
4
have
days,
right now?
All right.
700.
Oh, shit.
Do you have gold?
700 gold.
Yeah, that's what you are. Yeah.
Okay.
And you were able to pick that up. And as you walk about the city, again, it is still relatively dour in general. There's like that kind of atmosphere of people at war, but the war is far enough removed from the city that the city can still prosper and go about. But there's definitely a lighter mood since the last time you were here, and you would guess that that's probably because they were able to make such headway, and it's not just like people dying and then burning of bodies and having to fight your own friends as they are risen as some sort of weird zombie creature. So it seems the work you had done has gone a long way.
So, Rick won't smile, but he'll be gladdened.
Gladdened.
Blessings of Pumpstoffles unto
the people of Karrak-Faern. Somewhere those bugbears are still out there singing the praises of Pumpstoffles.
Hey man, who knows? Maybe they'll benefit.
You never know.
They didn't die by my hands, so that's kind of like...
Which is a benefit, yeah.
Right, so I don't run into anybody I know.
I mean, people know you.
Yeah.
So there's plenty of that.
Right, but nobody I would have previously cared about.
Let's find out. No.
Great. Alright, so I'll come back and I cook breakfast for everybody.
Rick's there making breakfast. Smells good.
Cool. I'm gonna create water for a bunch of dwarven families.
So
Just go around and just, hey, you need some fresh water?
You know it's like
water.
a one shot, right? You make the water.
Right, so I'm gonna gather them all around.
Oh, I see.
Get the barrels together, and then boop, there's your free water.
All right. And they're like, thank you. Strange blue man.
Cedric.
Yeah.
The meal smells delightful.
Yeah, it's classic dwarven breakfast.
I appreciate this a lot.
Well, you're welcome. And I'm, I just met you, but it seems like it's a good thing to have you here.
Thank you.
God, you're fucking tall, though.
Yeah.
Where did Wave go?
Right here, man.
Oh, you're back.
I am not sure. It was not my turn to keep an eye on him.
It is
What, man?
always everyone's turn to keep an eye on him.
That sounds exhausting.
Nah, I mean, I don't mind, personally.
Very well.
I'm right here, guys.
Yeah, yes, you are.
Yeah.
Alright, here's breakfast. Yeah, and here's breakfast, and here's a big pile of beans for you, and breakfast. He doesn't eat meat. So, that's something.
Neither do the dead.
He's right. The dead simply are meat.
So, like, you're not supposed to influence anything we do, right?
Well, depending on your thought process on the existence of free will, any action I do will influence your decision just by my very presence. However, I am going to strive to influence you as little as possible to increase the chances in that my target will cross our path.
So, like, are you gonna fight with us?
Yes. I need to keep you alive.
Well, what if the people we're fighting were supposed to kidnap us, and then that's how we meet your target, but you kill them, so we don't, and then we move on?
Well,
That won't happen.
by the providence of manifest destiny, no matter what he does, it's gonna work out.
Then why does it matter if he influences what we do?
Because he's not gonna on purpose. So that's why it matters.
Kalimvor put me on this path, so I know it's the right one.
Alright.
As the good book says, who's the bigger fool? The fool who follows him. Follower?
Is that an insult?
I don't think so.
Oh, good. I didn't want to be the fool. But that, I mean, if I was the fool, then you would be the fool who followed me.
So we'd be the fools.
Yeah. All right. Somebody else has to clean up breakfast.
Not it.
Prestidigitation.
Ah, that's so useful.
Yeah. All right. I will say to you, Celine, too, by the way, because I came across this, and it was actually what I was trying to base Ed Cooper on when we had this conversation. So I'll give you the option now, without further discussing the stats at the moment. But there was a type of raptor that was my original basis for him, and if you wanted to, I would say you could change Tad Cooper to that type of raptor. But basically, what I'll just give you the heads up right now, it's a little bit. What's his AC?
Do I have it actually written down? I have it written down. 14.
Alright, so he's as armored, a little bit weaker on the HP side, but hits a lot harder. Like for 2d6 on the claws and 2d4 on the pike.
As opposed to a d8 on each.
Correct. It's a thought process, something to think about.
Okay.
We talk about it on the break.
Okay.
We'll lose pack tactics, but has pounce, which I think he has pounce, right?
No.
So it would lose pack tactics, but it would get pounce.
Okay.
So.
Because he has multi-attack.
Yeah. So it would get. It would lose multi-attack, but he'd gain pounce. So a thing to knock people prone, and then he can get a bonus action attack. And his movement speed was.
I don't have it written down. I don't know.
No, you don't know?
I don't know off the top of my head. I didn't write that down.
Gotcha. Well, we'll figure that out.
Indeed.
All right. So yeah, you guys clean up from breakfast that Rick made. It is a good breakfast.
Is Crag up and going?
Yeah, he's up early. He's an old guy.
All right.
Oh, and his movement speed would go up by 10 to 50.
Ooh.
50-foot movement speed.
So spood.
He'd be spoodier than you.
Many
Much
spood.
food.
Very speedy.
Only by 5 spood.
Spood
Alright.
still though. That's still pretty spoody.
That is
That's literally double my spood.
How much speed?
Yeah. Crag, let's go check out your guys.
It's like, all right, if you think you're up to that, they're pretty impressive. They all got a thing.
They got a thing?
It's like, you should probably work on that, actually. It's you don't have to.
My thing is kicking ass. And picking
Yeah, see,
things
but
up.
theirs is that, but they also have a thing.
Yeah, my thing's picking stuff up. I bet I can outpick up any of them.
Like, well,
I'm a brawny motherfucker.
we'll see. Come on.
What were they called again?
Then, wow.
10
The Nutcrackers.
Battlerages.
Knuckle dusters.
Knuckle ducks. Of course.
Oh, that's actually.
So,
Yeah. Did you not know that?
so yeah, he'll take you guys down, and he's like, they're not all
What is-
gonna be there because
Alright,
most of them are out fighting.
Yeah, that's
So
fair.
we rotate 2 people
It's fun, right?
every
It's a fun phrase.
week or so. So we get 2 people back.
Send 2 more out.
Yeah, that way people get a little bit of a break, rest.
Yeah.
Otherwise, they'll look like me. Yeah, so you guys make your way down kind of to where you go through the main part of the city and kind of down to where the adamantine forges are. And he tells you that they basically hang out down there because they've been learning the trade of forging. So you head down there. And you do as you come, and you can see that it's supernaturally hot in here, as you guys know, because it had to be that hot to melt the adamantine to workable temperature. Uncomfortable. Yeah, and you see that there are there's like a small army of dwarves, probably somewhere in the range of 25 to 50, working on all of the forges down here, just churning. And it's like that scene in like Lord of the Rings where the orcs are making all the armor, and it's just like one piece, and it's just coming. And it's like that, and it's everything from like, it's a pauldron, it's a gauntlet, it's a helmet, it's an axe head, it's a whatever the case. They're just going, churning out as much as they can because they want to be able to have every. And he'll tell you this as you're working your way down the slope down to get in there. That the goal is to have every dwarf have a suit of armor and weapons made of adamantine, in case that way everybody can serve, and then any surplus they can start to distribute, sell, because wars are expensive.
Yeah.
So as you make your way down, you will see 2 dwarves in similar armor, but slightly different than you. And they're kind of overseeing and directing shipments that are heading out, and like, you know, stuff that's coming back in, things that need repairs, or switching out of old armor to switch in for new stuff. And you see that there's two of them there, two male dwarves. One of them, they both look around the same height, and one of them is in all black spiked armor, similar to yours, although it's like a slightly darker black than yours. And the other one is in just like gunmetal steel, but his helmet, it's strange, right? So you got the helmet piece, and it has like cogs on the side, and it has a large piece that comes up top like this with like jagged metal down, and a piece on the bottom under here that comes up. And he will introduce you to Crunch. And the other guy's name is Winko.
I was hoping it was Munch.
Winko.
And as you guys notice, he's sort of, as you're like looking at him, he's sort of in and out of reality. Yeah, like he's there and he's not.
Like he's winking in and out of
Sort of,
reality.
yeah.
The one with the cogs?
No, the cogs is Crunch, the one who looks like he's a giant jaw on his
Gotcha.
helmet. And the other one who's winking out of existence, his name is Winko.
Mm-hmm. Gotcha. I had to mix.
And he will tell you, and he will introduce them, and they'll turn to see him, and they kind of like stand at attention, like salute and everything, because they're soldiers in a war.
Right.
And he'll be like, guys, this is Rick. He's the guinea pig for all this stuff. And you see that they too have the armor that slides back,
Right.
and they have the spike knuckles as well. And yours are still tender. Theirs are more scar tissue and gnarled and have been there for a little while. And they will be like, we've heard about you. Well, we've heard about you, and now we heard about you again.
Right.
And they will reach out, shake your hand.
Good old hardy dwarven.
Yes. And then Crag will say, so as I was saying, they have a thing.
All right.
And then they just kind of like chuckle to themselves. He's like, you don't need it, but when you get into this for a while, you do things to distinguish yourself.
Sure.
Customize your armor the way you want it to. And he says, in Crunch here, I'm sure. And then Crunch will like walk over to like one of the carts and will just bend down, and the jaws just.
Oh, seems like a
And
waste.
and you watch when he stands up, it's held there on his head, and he can just pummel the thing as it's grappled by the face mask of his armor.
Nice.
And he says, and Winko here took some time down in the Underdark, managed to track himself down a displacer beast, and we lined the inside of the armor with that and the outside, and you can see that now he's kind of, there is the displacement effect where he's kind of in and out of reality, and that's the slightly darker black on the armor.
Nice. Very cool. I just have this helmet. My eyes glow red.
And they're like,
I'm fucking an angry guy.
they're like, you look,
That is not as impressive as they are.
and they're like, that, yeah, it's scary.
Yeah, man.
They're like, does
Very
it
well.
shoot fire?
No, I just fight things physically with my
Sure.
body.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, it does.
I met
they
them
like-
yesterday.
And they're like,
These are my companions, and I'll introduce them.
and they all go around and shake your hands, and you, as they go to, you watch as the armor just kind of like slides back on a slide as they shake your hand, so you don't get impaled.
Very efficient.
Hey,
I appreciate that.
yeah. Well, having been on the other side of that,
Yes.
how that goes. So yeah, and they're like, so, well, are you back? Are you here to join the front? What's going on?
Oh, no, actually, we came, this guy here, and I'll point and wave, is from Brigit's homestead. They got attacked by a dragon. But they are an important potential ally. So, the leader there asked us to come talk to the queen and see if there was any sort of aid that we could give them in the fight against the dragon. He might have some magical items which might prove to be very useful. So, they said if we help them, kind of quid pro quo, back scratching bullshit. So I said, sure, why not? And, if she says no, then, probably just come, fuck up some fish.
they all chuckle at that, and there's definitely like a fist bump moment with that, and it's interesting because none of you take any damage from it, but you all have spiked fists. It's like it's very cool.
Yeah.
They say it resonates. It's got that nice kind of pure adamantine resonance.
It's got its own kind of sound.
It does.
Like when Ness connects with a baseball.
Yeah, basically.
Nice.
Yeah. So.
Well, I make things happen.
And they're like, well, we've heard good things. We'd love to see you out there and see what you're capable of. And I'm sure the rest of the guys and gals would be interested to see that.
Yeah. There's 10 of you.
Yes.
How many are back here right now?
Just the two of us.
Oh, okay, cool.
Everybody else is out.
Nice.
I said we were just on a tour out there. We helped the initial push back to the lake.
Oh, awesome.
So it's pretty crazy. They're starting to have to get a little creative now. And they're getting a lot bigger.
I know what that's like.
The fish are getting bigger?
Yeah.
Ah, shit.
Like, last one that we saw was about giant size.
God, that must smell terrible.
Pretty bad.
All right.
Well, how far away is the front?
From here, well, I don't know how much Rick remembers because you went to a part of the front is obviously fought on a lot of different battlefields, but they said that they've managed to push it back to the lake, and where you guys interacted at the very first time, you were much farther back. You were still close enough to the city where there was that passageway that you went through kind of through the side that got you back into the city, because it hadn't made it into the city, but it was maybe 4 to 10 hours outside of the city. Now you're potentially, depending on how you get there, a day or more into the Underdark and through there to try to find your way back.
All right. Wrong.
Sure.
All right, so Crab, what kind of training we doing down here?
For you?
Yeah, and her.
Well, she's gonna be punching stuff probably.
All right.
Because I don't think she wants. You don't want that. And he points at the metal conical spikes that have been embedded in the knuckles.
No.
And he's like, I also don't know if I can make them small enough to not just destroy your hand.
I'm still gonna crawl.
Yeah, she's pretty
small. Hopefully, fingers crossed. Keep drinking that milk.
All right, so that's out.
All right.
So you
But
can't.
I mean, normal ones that slip on over rings, but it's a big metal bar across that. They go bah!
He's like those?
Yeah.
These
On his hands? Oh. Do you use those?
I mean, they look pretty great, man.
It looked pretty
That
great
was
out
not
there,
the
too.
question he asked you.
I do wear them.
That is also not the question he asked you.
No,
Why
I
is
don't-
he like this?
I haven't needed
We've
to
been
use
asking
them.
that for a long
He
time.
drowned once. I think it caused issues.
He didn't seem like this
Deprivation.
last time.
He was,
He smoked a
recently.
lot of leaves.
That's right. He's almost out of his drugs.
Oh God, what's he gonna do when he's done?
Do you have seeds?
Yeah, man.
I don't remember
This
that.
is out of game.
I'm pretty sure I grabbed seeds from every plant.
I'm
If
sure
nothing-
you grabbed
Didn't you leave them on the boat that the boys took?
If nothing else, we gotta find that one guy who made it out of
I
Gallagher
think I might have.
with his plants.
Blake?
Yeah.
Well, Blake took all of.
He
Blake
He
took
went to
his.
Westwick.
Yeah, well, he took his plants,
Yeah.
and Stanley, Elmer, Jimmy, and the other one, Carl.
Yeah.
They took the boat. He stocked the boat with seeds and plants full of from everything, and then they took the boat and they're out somewhere.
Thank you.
So no, he's got what he's got.
Not much left, man.
Not much left at all now. So he's just like, have you put in any thought about what you want to do? Because you're not going to find anybody outside who's going to be able to alter your armor at all. So if you don't have to think about it now, but you can see these guys have some stuff that they've worked on. If you have some thoughts about what you want to do, I don't know how long you're going to be here, but maybe we can send you out. If there's something you want to try to do, we could try to go get it and put it in, even if it's just a concept. He says some of the other guys, they've got, he's like, it's just a mismatch of different things. He says some of them, they design theirs to be a little more flexible, and they roll up into a ball, and they roll around. There's two twins, that's their thing.
Nice.
So one guy's got really big boots and just stomps on people a lot. That's his whole thing. He just finds a way to get up high.
His name?
He just goes by Waffle Stomper. Because of the tread on the bottom of his boots looks like a waffle.
Right.
There's a lot of waffle puns with that guy.
Yeah, I got these slippers, but I really like my slippers. They're so fucking comfy, man. But check it out. And I'll walk up the side of the wall, and like I can hide by not moving at all until something's underneath me, and drop, bam,
Drop brick.
superhero landing. Drop brick. Yeah, exactly. Terrifying.
Imagine with spikes.
Yeah, no, so do you want to make them part of your armor?
No, see, because I can just have them right now as my shoes.
Sure. Waffle Stomper would.
No, but
Could you perhaps make some kind of top of shoe metal guard so you can still wear your fancy slippers but be protected on the tops of your feet?
do you think that's something we could work out?
You go, yeah, I mean, that's something that's not, I don't really see how much different that is than what you got right now, other than they don't look like purple spider slippers.
Yeah.
Well, that's not nothing.
That's true.
See, the only problem is I don't have any magical items which might help me imbue.
I mean, he says, I got a lot of people doing all the hard work here, so I have time to sit around and tinker and design things. If you have a concept,
All right.
It's got these blue smoke grenades if you shoot them out at somebody. Reach in there recklessly.
it's like you could just throw them too.
Yeah.
Maybe you get a launcher and shoot farther.
I can throw pretty far. Yeah, true. I mean, you can throw pretty far.
What about something that shoots spikes?
Like a chain that attaches to this big spike here, and I could just like spike out and stab something and pull it towards me. Sounds like an awesome idea. That's why I keep him around.
I met him yesterday.
Is that something that we'd be able to do?
Yeah, it's something we could probably
And then I could like come up with like some sort of catchphrase as I drag him towards me, like,
come closer!
yeah.
Terrible catchphrase.
Get over here. No, that's dumb
That's
too.
dumb.
Like, suck on this.
Is it something that's grabbing them? Or like
No, like,
spikes through
like, yeah,
them?
like into them.
Oh, you should do it through their
opens
face
up.
and go, got your nose! And pull it as you pull them in.
That's actually really
That's
good.
not a bad idea
That's
at all.
really good.
That's
Yeah,
like
so they
keep
can
me
like
around.
open into like a grappling hook,
Oh, you could have different ones.
or like
One that's like
either
a
just like
spike,
a fish hook,
or one that opens and grabs,
and like meat hook somebody from a distance.
or one that's like a net.
Nah,
You could have different ones that go out.
gotta be made out of adamantine. I'm not about to have like 17 different attachments
Well, not
for my
17.
arms.
That's ridiculous.
He goes, well, you got two arms.
And so I gotta have two different things.
Yeah.
So maybe like do grabby spike on one arm, and then like if we get like just a fucking chunk of adamantine
Just like
on another chain, be able to whip it at people. Now maybe like do a sweeping attack, hit more than one dude.
he's like, yeah, that's something I could
Or
work
maybe
out.
like-
It'd be the old ball and chain.
Maybe an adamantine on like a rod so you get like extra reach.
Are you ambidextrous?
Yes.
Great.
Actually, I don't know what that means.
Oh, it means capable of fighting equally good with your right and left.
Yeah, I can punch either hand, no problem. I can grab people with the other hand.
Can you
I
use your
use
sword?
both hands when I use my weapons. But I always hold my hammer for smithing in my right hand. But I always hold the thing I'm smithing on with my left hand. Unless I'm not holding it at all, or I need two
Can
hands
you
for a
do
bigger
the other
hammer.
side though? Hold something with your right and smash with your left.
Never tried it.
May I make a recommendation, sir?
Yeah, let me see.
Why don't you try swinging around Wave's flail with your left hand before you put a big chunk of adamantine on a chain on your left gauntlet? See if you can fight effectively.
Yeah, all right. Who am I fighting effectively? I look around for help.
Wave looks like.
Sure, man.
All right, cool.
Alright.
Vigilance.
Alright. And so you have no weapon?
I'll have the courage to do it.
Here, take this, and
I'm
I'll
just-
throw you.
I'll fake you again. Bring that.
No. Crag will just be like, you're an idiot here. And he'll throw you just an he'll just throw you an adamantine flail. And it'll be like, it's what you've been using. Just make it work.
All right.
Roll for initiative.
Yeah, go for it.
With advantage. Yeah, that's right.
So I'll go second.
So excited.
12. I am. It's great. You didn't surprise me either. All right, cool. So I will attack him recklessly
With your left hand.
after I go into a rage with my left hand.
Of course.
I wasn't ready.
Natural 20. I feel ambidextrous.
That answers my question.
Does this have like any extra bonuses?
+4.
Oh, it's +1. Nice.
Oh, yeah.
So that is 19 damage. Oh, I have temporary hit points.
And you have to attack.
Yep. And I'll attack again. For a 21.
Oh, that'll do it.
All right.
I wasn't ready. Should have faithfully waited this.
It's a shame. You should have been ready. I don't know how.
I mean, you offered, so
Yeah.
you knew it was coming.
14 damage. Whack. Wham! This time.
Ow!
It feels kind of light, actually.
Son of a bitch. I'm gonna attack back.
Okay.
I attacked recklessly, so you would have advantage.
You do have advantage.
Actually,
Yeah.
19 and almost a 20. 28.
Mm-hmm.
And,
D8 plus your strength,
yep.
plus the dueling.
7. 14.
Ooh.
No, 13 points. Sorry.
Almost got rid of my temporary hit points.
As the damage is cut in half because I'm raging.
So mad.
I'm so angry.
Ooh, I'm gonna hit again with another 19. With that's 4.
Alright, so that will be 7.
Then I'm gonna action surge.
Alright.
And I'm gonna hit with a 23.
Yeah, you are.
And that's gonna be for 9 points of damage.
Alright.
I'm gonna attack again. And I'm gonna get 2 natural ones.
Ooh.
So I'm gonna swing and I'm gonna let go of the flail.
Ah.
Ah!
I'm gonna reach out and grab it with my right hand as it's flying, and I wanna like swing around once and I wanna throw it at you to see if the whole chain thing would work. I'm gonna throw it recklessly. Oh no! A 12!
Miss.
Ah, shit. Well, bam! With my left hand. With a 17.
Shield misses.
And that was your 2 attacks, right?
Yeah.
If you want,
I can bonus action punch him. Definitely. Alright, a 27. Does a d4?
D4 plus strength plus rage damage.
Yeah. With the
With the knuckles.
9 damage. Pow!
And you watch it as the blade is coming towards your face, it retracts, and then you just get impacted with the knuckles.
Ooh, ah.
Yeah, it hurts a little bit.
Alright. My turn. I'm gonna action activate chill plate.
Bonus action?
Bonus action activate chill plate.
It's been every time.
And I'm gonna
Whole game.
attack. And I'm gonna hit with 25.
Nice.
And then I'm gonna do 12 points of damage.
Nice. Down to 6.
Attack again. That's a little cock. 13 and alright, so that's gonna hit for 22.
Yeah.
That's gonna do 12 points of damage.
Alright. Deer getting a wave. Hey, you can't look. Yeah, sneaky cheater.
I can't see anything.
What?
Anyway,
Alright, so I attack back.
Reckless again?
Recklessly. Can I bonus action punch first?
Yeah, actually.
I'm gonna come in close and then give you the old uppercut. Recklessly, for a 19 to hit.
Miss.
For what? What's your armor class? 21. You shield bearing son of a gun. Alright, then I'm gonna attack twice with your flail there. With a 25 hit. Oh, it's a 26 because it's a +1 weapon.
I figured it's a +1 on the damage.
Yeah, that I remembered.
But you use temporary hit points, but he takes damage.
Oh, the D8.
For the first time ever.
2 points.
Alright.
That's actually 2 points. That's just cold damage.
2 whole points.
But it's temporary hit points.
That's true.
Attacking
Shit.
recklessly. Alright, so that will deal 13 points of damage to you. And I'll attack one more time.
I don't like it.
But I'm gonna miss.
Yeah, you are. And then I'm gonna second wind. That's 6 plus my level for 13. Alright. Back in it. And then I'm gonna attack. And I get advantage. Got this son of a gun. For 17.
No.
Yes. I'm gonna attack again.
Haha, playman.
I'm gonna miss again.
Ooh.
At this point, Reverance is going to say, I think you get the point.
It works.
Let's keep going.
Yeah?
Come on.
Alright.
Man.
23.
Brina.
Yes.
Why is he like this?
Ooh.
Don't ask.
17 points of damage. And then a 19 misses.
You're gonna take 6 points of cold damage.
Alright, that's fair. That still leaves you with a temporary hit point.
Good.
And since I'm recklessly attacking again, I will get full temporary hit points back up to 7. With my bonus action punch.
I will point out that this could have stopped.
26.
You haven't even gotten to his hit points yet, and I gave you an out.
Oh, he's gotten past the temporary.
Has he?
Some, yeah.
Some, yeah.
He's done. He's done.
Yeah, I gave you an out. You were
done
going to lose
15 points of damage to my actual health at this point.
Oh,
I've done 44.
yeah, he did 19 in one hit.
Yeah. And you've did some healing and stuff too. So that'll be another 11 damage.
Hopefully we don't actually have to fight something today.
Yeah, well, that's not my
Take a
fault.
nice rest after.
Nice short rest.
You know, Rick,
Yeah.
I think you
Wait.
knocked some sense into me.
Oh, okay. Is it me or is it the large man making good points?
It might have been both of you.
Alright, and I'm gonna just throw your flail back at you.
Gingerly or as
Yeah, not overly, not recklessly.
16 athletics check.
Well, hang on. What'd you roll?
22?
He hits you with it. Roll the damage. It's still under rage.
11.
You catch the handle. The head hits you in the face, though.
Ooh. Sorry.
So yeah, it seems like the left hand works.
All right, left
That's what
hand's
I'm
okay.
gathering from that.
Me too.
All right.
Good fight, Rick.
Yeah, man. A pleasure. Oh. So, yeah, if I could get like a flail and then
Can the
Grab it,
metal be your fist? Which is like shaped like your fist.
And he goes, I'll tell you what you do.
Legs. Do what?
Keep punching. And we'll get I didn't tell you to stop.
Yeah.
And he says, once you can punch rock, then we'll give you gloves with little adamantine things in it, and we'll see if this probably not gonna work, but we'll see if you just punch this rock a lot, make it look like a fist.
But okay.
Yeah.
How's she doing?
How
how am I doing?
Make me a dexterity check. Which seems weird, but for punching.
Should she be able to add her wisdom modifier?
I'm gonna rest for an hour.
Okay.
I would also
Reengage
actually
everything though.
like to rest for an hour.
Points.
15.
Yeah, you're working at it. You're not doing as these dwarven rocks. They must be a
They're
little
not like
stronger
those.
than that piece of marble for some reason.
They're not like that marble, that fancy marble there.
It's more of an artisanal marble versus this raw dwarven stone.
Yeah. Raw dwarven stone's a little tougher.
It's actually Rick's porn name.
Raw dwarven stone. Yeah. I don't remember that.
Apparently, you were a big hit
Yeah.
over where Reverance is from.
That's weird too.
Yeah.
There are some very scantily drawn pictures.
In the journal?
No. Rick's not an artist except with a pancake. I do pancake art.
Do you?
Yeah.
Interesting. I'm learning that about Rick right now.
Yep. Learn a lot about him as I make it up.
That's kind of how that works, yeah. All right, so no, he will say, yeah, no, I think that's actually, compared to some of the other shit other people come up with, that's pretty simple.
All right.
So yeah, that's actually relatively easy, all things considered.
Yeah.
Are you gonna throw this spike, or you want it to be jettisoned? And are you gonna pull it, or would you like it to winch back? If you're just throwing it and pulling it yourself, that's
super easy.
That's like, we could do that today.
Yeah.
But if you want it to be launched and then reel itself back in, that's
Be a little more.
there's things that need to be done for that. That's a design. Like, I could put a hunk of adamantine on a chain and then weld it to your armor. That's easy.
I think.
Well, it's not easy, but it's easier.
Well, I think I'd like to be able to launch it. Yeah, just be able to point it and get somebody.
Got it.
And I'd also maybe be able to the grappling hook with it. I can walk up walls, but
And he's like, yeah, I thought about
what if I lose my slippers?
do you plan on it?
No, but I mean, what if somebody steals my slippers? People steal stuff.
True. All right.
Why are you looking at me?
Well, I was just remembering people stealing stuff. I wasn't really looking at you specifically. I was remembering this guy named Sean.
Because it seemed like you looked
Well, he was
right at me.
He was almost as tall as you.
Oh. Okay.
So, just that then.
There's Spike. I have a dick spike. Spike. I have a dick spike. Right there.
The table's no, I didn't get that.
You got it.
No, I didn't get it. The table's no.
Anyway, so he says, yeah, there's designs that need to be made, some work, a little more finesse for that kind of retrieval system.
Right.
It needs a little more intricate work.
Yeah, I mean, plus if it's got the winch on it, that's cool, and I can also pull it if need be.
Right. So, okay. We could do that.
You would be able to make this suit fly, would you?
He goes, I mean, that's not something I have done, but that's not out of the complete realm of possibility, although it might look a little different. And I'm gonna need to do some stuff, and you're gonna have to go find some stuff.
Now, why don't you make me a list of stuff I might need to find in order to make this a flying motherfucker?
And do you want it to be... So you want to...
I want to look like a spiky angel of death.
So, because he's like, so you can walk on walls, but you also want to have something that you can climb things, and then you also want to fly?
Yes. Want to be versatile.
He said, but I feel like if you could just fly, it fixes all of those things.
Yeah, but at that point, I would just get regular boots on this bitch. I mean, I have my other boots. They're in my backpack. So, then I give somebody else the slippers.
So with wings.
I bet you if you practice enough, you could walk on walls all by yourself.
Yeah, but I'm not
So you
there.
you want wings.
I mean, I don't know how magic works, man.
As well, like, there's a lot of different kinds of magic. He says, it'd probably be easier to make you just go up and down. That's easy.
Right.
Than around.
Whatever. No aroundness to it, just up
Just
and down.
like straight up and down. That would be a lot easier. Not saying that that's what you want. I'm just saying
It'd be
that
hard to, like, what if I needed to fly at something to fight it, then they weren't straight up and down. If I want to wait, I can wait on the ground.
I like this fellow.
Him?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's great.
And he's like, so for the up and down thing, you go out into the Underdark, go find Drow, bring me back living if possible, Drow noble, and we'll make it work.
All right.
We can. It's a lot of details. We can make that work. They have that capability. We extract that capability.
Is it in the spleen?
No, maybe.
Is it in like the subcockle region?
He's like, now you're just. No.
Oh. I heard that once.
But he says, no, there's. He goes, but the more advanced these things you get, and the more, like. He goes, this is going to require a degree of focus
Right.
to use them.
If
Like,
I
you know
have
what I
to
mean.
concentrate on it?
Or become in tune with it.
Okay. That makes sense.
Whereas
too.
what you're asking for now is just weapons.
Right, so I might be able to do both, is what you're saying. Get these weapons and also.
Yeah, you could do. I mean, it depends on how much time you have and how much money you're willing to give me to do this. Or
Yes.
if I come up with an errand I need you to run, make it work, then you gotta go do that.
I have 198 gold.
He goes, so it sounds like errands are more what you're gonna be doing.
Yeah. You don't.
So, yeah.
Alright. Very good. Well, and if I wanted to be able to fly,
He goes, that I need to think about. Because that's.
dragon wings,
I mean, it probably wouldn't hurt.
it's a place to start.
He goes, there's a lot of things. I mean, we got people that roll, we got people that stomp on people, we got Crunch over here, we got Winko.
I like Winko's thing.
Yeah, that's his thing. He likes doing that.
Yeah. I feel like.
That's such a good build.
I know.
Because then you can recklessly attack, and they only
Yep.
regular
I
attack.
know.
Yeah, Winko is not without.
We just know where it's at.
Yeah. And he goes, hey, we're gonna see if we can't tap into that further and get him to move around, not just stay in one place and shit.
Sure.
Like he's here, now he's over here.
Yeah, like Blinky.
Yeah.
He'd be Blinko and Winko.
Yeah.
Blinko, Winko. I don't know.
Probably just call him Blinko.
Blinko.
I mean, his name is Winko, so it just seemed to work out.
Yeah.
No, and he
Wait,
said,
is his name really just Crunch then?
no, that's what he goes by.
Alright.
Because I don't really question.
Fair enough.
He said, no, we built one of them so their armor, it's all interlocking plates, so the whole thing spins,
Ooh.
so they can burrow underground.
Ah.
And they just kind of can go under and have a burrow speed.
Nice. I almost had one of those once.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fucking tieflings. They're the worst.
I'm right here.
Not you. Other tieflings. Plus, you're stuck with me.
I still have feelings.
Oh, I didn't realize that.
And so we had one of them we built in chambers to hold alchemist fire, so they can set themselves on fire.
Oh, shit.
They don't take any of the
Right.
damage, but they're just a rolling ball of spiky fire.
That's wild.
Ooh.
That's one.
That
We have
sounds
another
cool.
guy who there was some Durger and some work there, and now we've actually managed to incorporate in the ability for him to grow in size.
Ooh, also neat.
So he can become large size. So that's something. So there's a lot of different options. Basically, you come up
Were you
with
able to incorporate their ability to go invisible?
It says not from that, but we could probably make that a thing.
That's a cool thing.
It would be tricky. There's a lot there. See, the thing is, you're invisible, but you still make noise.
Yeah, that's always been my problem. Every time I've ever been
Invisible?
Maybe. We haven't figured out how yet. What we need to do to make that work.
Right.
He's like, magic is probably the easiest way to do that.
Yeah. Maybe you can get an invisible tattoo. Maybe if you find some invisible ink.
Waves reading.
It might be.
Alright, well, you've given me a lot to
Noted.
think about. What if we started with the
Yeah,
weapons and then we move?
He says you want us to start on. You want me to start on that now?
Yeah, sure.
All right. Like, well, you have to leave stuff here,
Alright.
and have to come up with a way you're gonna pay me back.
Yeah, man. Whatever you need.
All right. So you leave your armor there to get incorporated with this harpoon type feature and flail arm.
Yeah.
That's that.
Alright.
And then obviously he didn't tell you about the very basic, like, oh, make it +1. But I didn't have a good way to describe that.
Yeah.
But like, make it +1 armor or make it +1 like arm blades.
Ooh.
So that they no difference. They're just harder. They do more damage and they hit better.
Love that.
Yeah. Well, he left. You're getting spikes, grappling hooks, and flails.
Maybe he'll just make a magic for me.
Probably not. But
So are you like naked? Or?
I got long chance, huh?
Oh.
he took
In his long john.
So do you have other armor in case trouble brews?
Yeah, I still have my old armor before I got this adamantine.
Yeah.
Oh, what's your unarmored defense?
Garbage. Yeah, 14.
Your con mod's 3?
4.
Dex mod 0?
Yeah.
Alright, so
Next level, when I'm level 7, I will have a con mod of 4 and a dex mod of 1.
Okay.
And then I can get rid of this amulet path. Somebody who needs a gore.
So, you guys, you leave, and basically after a little while of you resting, relaxing, or whatever, Queen Andy will call you back.
Oh, alright.
In your long johns.
My long johns. And, what's base barbarian? None.
I mean,
There is no barbarian armor. I never got any armor.
Nope.
Nope.
I have
You have unarmored defense.
a set of common clothes that would outfit you very awkwardly.
I have a set of super fancy clothes.
That'll also fit me very awkwardly.
Yeah, probably.
I will take the large man's clothes versus the young girl's clothes.
That's fair. You look so silly in a
Fair
dress.
enough. I'm just gonna and then
It's weird.
So, you guys go there, and she tells you that she's had some time to think about what's going on, and the letter provided from Maddox, and she says, so I've been thinking about it, and it's not really, it doesn't make the most sense to spare troops at the moment, but there's a couple of things we might be able to do, and they might help a little bit, and obviously we're going to need some stuff in return. She says, one, and you can communicate this to them however you want, any diamonds found in the Horde, we want all of them.
okay.
Because we've got a lot of people
Right.
that are dying, and we want to bring them all back.
Yeah.
So diamonds, number 1. She says number 2, she goes, I could probably, the best I could really do, because we want to keep as many people here as we can, working forges, day and night, and whatever else, I could probably spare you 2 of the knuckle dusters, and you can choose which ones.
All right.
And she was going to give you one more thing. It seems wrong to take it from where it sits, but given the history and what's going on, it might make the most sense and might provide a little bit of assistance. So, let's see. We'll look it up on my phone.
Yes. The legendary phone.
My scrying device. Oh,
but she's got a cool little scrying device. It's like a stone tablet. You can see a bunch of different information on.
If it's made of stone, why is it called glass?
Like a book.
But it's made out of stone. Yeah, like a book, except with more information than a single book could contain.
And she will.
Call it phone.
No one said anything about glass.
You're not paying attention.
It said scrying glass.
No, I said it's like a scrying device.
So she says, and she like motions, and people come bringing in this thing that's about this big under a sheet, and they put it on the dais in front of the sheet. And she looks to you, Rick, and she says, can't promise that this would be useful, then we need it back when it's done. But the only person that I'd be willing to entrust it to is you, because you're the only one who really understand what it is and what it truly means. And you're also the only one I can trust to really bring it back.
All right.
And they will flap off that sheet. And
dwarven skill.
It is apparently. You see something that looks like that.
Ooh, wow. All right.
And you would know this is the legendary shield, Dreadwall, the shield of Karrak Dragondasher, who killed the ancestor to the dragon that is plaguing the area right now.
Oh, yeah.
Made from the cleaved top of that dragon's skull.
What's it called? Dreadwall?
Dreadwall.
All right.
Because if you think it'd be helpful.
Damn.
It's been a long conversation between me and my advisors, and they said I shouldn't, but I said it's one item that no one's using versus a bunch of troops. So perhaps it'd be useful.
My queen, I believe that we would be able to find viable use for such a wonderful, powerful item. You have, of course, my eternal service, but also my gratitude.
Well, just I hope that this works out well, and if things change and we're able to spare some more folks, we might, but I'll talk with Craig. Perhaps we can maybe even spare a few arms to send with you back up. Perhaps some, I don't know, we don't have much use for long-shafted arrows, so perhaps we can make a quiver full of adamantine arrows and send those up, maybe that it up. I don't know.
That could be very useful.
I mean, we want to help because it's only a matter of time before it starts making its way underground.
Right. Well, grab the shield. This is most generous. The people of Brooklyn's Homestead. Me and your dad, I'm sure.
Oh, and she says, and the legend of it's known, so perhaps even just the image of it, even if you're not truly using it, perhaps just the image of it there will be enough to help rally people behind it.
How big is it?
It's almost as big as you.
Oh, yeah.
Like, were this 3.5, this would be a tower shield,
Ooh.
which in 3.5 it gave you cover. Like, the shield gave you mischance because it was so big. But yeah, I don't think I have a specific size of it, but
a full dwarf sized.
yes, yeah, definitely wieldable by you, but it is a shield.
All right.
So you will only have one hand. So, then she's like, if there's nothing else, I wish you the best of luck. Obviously, take the time you need, and like I said, you can talk with Crag and figure out which one of his crew you'd like to bring. It may take a little bit just to get them back as they cycle through, but it's up to you.
All right. I'll probably just take Zonko and Crunch down there.
His name is Winko.
Winko and Crunch down there.
And she's like, well, by all means.
I mean, they're there right now.
Hey.
They both seem useful.
Quite.
I mean, I don't understand the use of giant metal jaws, aside from grabbing stuff and holding onto it.
If used against a dragon's wings, that might be helpful.
And she looks at you and she goes, oh, did you ever wish you could grapple something and hit it with your greatsword? Well then.
Never thought of that.
You are a wise and noble ruler.
And she's like, oh, I don't know this one, but I like him.
He's great.
I'm gonna message her real quick.
Yeah.
And basically just be like, Your Majesty, I don't mean to interrupt. But have you heard of
and she'll be like, and you tell her that she can reply to the message.
Oh yeah, you can,
yeah, all right.
you talk back in my brain.
And she'll be like, and she'll basically tell you that the name sounds familiar, but it's a name that there was like rumors and buzzings of it when she was really young, but she hasn't heard anything about that name in, well, a long time, over 100 years.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
So assumed to be dealt with.
Oh, dear readers.
And I think so. You guys you disband from the Queen. You guys can head back to Crag or wherever you want to go here in Karrak-Faern. Are you going to take time to attune to the shield?
Oh, hell yeah.
All right. So we'll get to. So we'll give you that, and we'll take a break.
All right.
So for one, you have advantage on perception checks that rely on smell.
Okay.
If you take the attack action on your turn, you can use a bonus action to shove a creature with the shield, and if you do so, they take a D4 piercing damage.
Nice.
From the shove, and it does count as a magic attack.
Okay.
And while wielding it, you are resistant to acid damage.
Ooh.
And you automatically know the whole history of the shield, and you know that it has greater power, but requires things to unlock those powers. You would know that the next tier of its ability requires you to return it to the lair of the dragon from whence it came and soak it in the bog water that's there for 24 hours. That will allow it to unlock
Its potential.
it's the next
tier
of
its potential.
the third of 5. You know that there's more.
And is it like a +1 shield right now, or just?
It is just a straight shield at the moment.
Even that, I've never used a shield before.
It's a shield with acid resistance and an attack.
No, it's awesome.
A shove that does damage.
If you don't want it, I'll take it.
No, I want it.
I don't want to heat take it.
She also made a point to tell you that it made the most, that she only trusted you with it because...
What?
Like, why would you give it to him?
I wouldn't give it to you either.
But like, why would he be your first choice of the two of us?
Because he met you yesterday.
I just met you yesterday. I'm gonna give you some random magic item.
Fair.
You wouldn't just give me your magic item.
I only have the one.
Yeah, but you wouldn't give it to me.
If I was not using it, I might. It improves the chance I'll find my target.
It's fair. But I mean, even giving him the shield would improve the chance he can find your target. But regardless, it was gifted to me, but I mean, I'm gonna hold on to it.
That is a wise choice.
Until I can give it back. Cool. It's weird. Man, I feel so light. Airy.
You look weird.
I know. I'm like skinny,
It's
right?
unsettling.
You smell ripe.
That's true.
Have we ever seen him without his armor?
You haven't.
No.
You have.
Yeah.
He has. You two haven't.
To be honest, my illusion shattered a little bit.
Yeah, and all of the stench that was trapped within the armor is not.
He prestidigitated me yesterday.
That's
He
true.
did.
That's true. That is true.
Gave me a full cleaning.
Yeah, but I
Against
mean,
my will.
yeah, that sounds like me.
So, and within 24 hours, there's a little smell.
Yeah.
It's not like smelly smell.
That
Smells smelly. I get that one. I'm not gonna drink.
That's fair.
Y'all can suck it.
All right, Internet, we're going to take a short break.
Not if it smells smelly.
And we will be back in just a few minutes. We're back. You guys. Yeah, I look a little blue for some reason. The camera, the white balance is off now for some reason. Because if it's not one thing, it's another. We had like a good 3 weeks in there where everything was solid. So yeah, the white balance is off, so I'm just getting the harsh light from the studio light for whatever reason. So, you know what'll fix this all is if I just stop the stream, shut everything down, and turn it back on again.
You tried turning it off again.
I don't want to do that because I'm going to the stream.
Yeah, can't do it.
When the stream goes down, I go home.
Is that really?
Not exclusively, but most of the time when we get off the stream, I go home.
That is the pattern. That's what we've
you're
been
right.
conditioned to.
Mm-hmm.
So, alright. You guys rest for a little bit. And what do you guys want to do?
Alright. So we went and talked to the queen. She gave us the skinny on the things that we may be able to do.
We gotta go pick our dudes.
We gotta go, talk about...
Did you do short rest deal?
He did. And then, maybe I'll talk to Craig some more about ideas that I've had since walking away. Are you seriously not going to give her those?
You think I should?
You never use them, ever.
Weld spikes on.
Not going to anybody right now. This is just, you're working your way there.
Well, I'm thinking
Can I? I can work with adamantine. I did it before.
Can you?
But these ones are magic, so you don't need to. They look cool now.
What do they have?
What do they look like? I'm gonna be honest. I don't know anything about his knuckles.
Thoughts and prayers. D6 psychic damage, D6 radiant damage. One of each. Prayers does radiant, thoughts does psychic.
Would that be in addition
And
to
that's
her
in addition.
melee damage?
Yeah.
No one knows because no one's ever used them.
Man, I wanna punch something.
Here you go, kid.
Yeah! Do I have to attune or no?
Let me pull up what I've got over here just so I can make sure I have the right version of
Natural
it.
18.
Ooh, that's pretty good.
Then I would- Sure.
Oh, that's cocked. A little cocked. Natural 9. I'm half as good as you.
Damn right you are.
You're still pretty good.
Give me 1 sec. Well, while I look this up, why don't you? So you guys are gonna go back, and what's the?
We're gonna go talk to Craig McNuckles.
Okay, you go and you eventually track down Crag as you try on these. As I find the image in a second with what they actually do.
That would be nice.
Find it, but anyway.
Cool beats.
I want to talk to him about the other 2 knuckle dusters that I don't know yet of, as well as the Queen's orders that we can take 2 of them, as well as seeing if there was any sort of perhaps enhancing of my armor that he might be able to do.
And he's like, so you still want the harpoon thing and the flail? Or
Oh, yeah, hell yeah.
Is that out?
I think that's pretty badass. What do you guys think?
I agree.
Everybody likes the harpoon flail idea. I was just
I
wondering
think
if you might be able to imbue them with magical properties as well.
Will this require you getting a fun nickname based on your grappling hook and flail?
Well, I mean, he's already worked the brick.
Oh, are you asking me?
I guess.
I mean,
Do you give the nicknames?
no, people typically, it usually comes about naturally.
Part of a camaraderie thing.
Yeah.
Oh.
Like, I don't know. Call this guy 2 chains. I don't know, because he's got 2 chains.
Yeah.
See,
You know what I mean? Like,
I do.
Maybe instead of like we can make the adamantine just the shape of a brick.
There you go.
That way I can stay Rick the Brick, which is my nickname that people have for me right now.
I was unaware you introduced yourself as Cedric.
Yeah, that's my name. Rick the Brick is a nickname.
He was a famous adventurer, and then something happened. He doesn't talk. You don't remember, right? Something like that?
Yeah.
Yeah. I just call him.
He's off the chain.
Very well.
so,
Chain things with a fishing hook.
Like a meat hook as opposed to a harpoon. We should have talked about that earlier.
Well, not now. Now I'm saying wave.
Like what I do with control water?
Yeah, but like,
Like a real fishing hook?
yeah.
That sounds normal.
Alright, well. Alright.
Good point.
Got the water.
alright, so you trying on these knuckles,
Feels.
you do feel like they could be attunement. Because your unarmed strikes are different. Someone who's trained in the art of fighting unarmed, for lack of a better term, brass knuckles have a different quality.
Okay.
For your average person, they just give you unarmed strikes that do a d6, which is way better than anybody could ever do just straight out the gate. So you would have to attune to them to find out what they do.
My wraps are attunement.
Yes.
I have 2 attunement slots free. Do
Sounds
I have
like
anything? I don't have anything else. I don't.
that's your character,
That's
man.
attunement. No, I know. I'm kind of talking it out loud for myself.
Sure.
Yeah, I don't think anything. Cool. So then, yeah, I'll set an attune to them.
Okay. Both? There's
Does each one take an attunement slot, or do they work as a pair?
From what I knew, they were a pair.
Yeah.
well,
So-
you don't know.
Well, I'll try. I'll see what happens.
All right. So, well, because you can only attune to one item at a time. So that's how that
So it
works.
takes you 2 hours.
Might as well tune to the one.
Yeah.
So which one would you like to attune to? First. Or at all?
I mean, slot. Nah.
Psychic
Slots.
damage.
Yeah.
Psychic
Thoughts?
damage.
Yeah.
Okay. So you attune to this over the course of an hour. And it gives you a +1 to your unarmed strike damage rolls. With this. Attuning to thoughts gives
Okay.
you a +2 to your wisdom saving throws.
Ooh.
2
And whenever you succeed with a melee attack using that hand, it does a d4 psychic damage on top of whatever you normally do.
Nice.
Oh, instead of a d6, it's a.
No, it's a d6,
D6.
plus a d4.
Well, I mean, the d6 is my normal.
Yes.
Yeah, it's a d6
Yeah.
plus a d4.
Yeah. Okay.
In addition to your base damage. And once per long rest, you can cast the staggering smite spell.
Did you say short rest?
Per long rest.
Yeah, I saw that.
It's because there's so many Logitech C920s.
Ooh.
They all do that. That's very annoying.
That's exciting.
Yeah, I really wish this touchscreen works so I could just change it over here.
So, would Crag be able to imbue
Nice.
some magical properties, perhaps to the weapons?
He can imbue it to the weapons. He could imbue it to the spikes that are there in general. The plus, the. He could,
regular
all right,
spikes.
he could imbue these weapons.
Right.
He could imbue the spikes, or he could imbue the armor.
The spikes.
Okay, so the spikes would increase the arm damage, which is a D8. Like it works like a D8. It would increase that with a +1.
All right, cool.
But it would also, when people attack you, increase that by 1.
Okay, cool. And would it also increase +1 to hit?
Yes, they're +1. So +1 to hit and damage for the attacks that you're striking out with.
Right.
But when you grapple someone, how it does whatever your rage damage.
Yeah.
I think
Rage damage +1.
that's what rats do.
Would he be willing to do that, or able to without taking too much?
That's the thunder.
How long would that
thing I do.
take?
So if I do that,
So
then
you
it's another D6.
right now you're just talking about imbuing.
Yeah.
Okay. So that would allow him. So just the imbuing of stuff that would take probably 6 hours
Okay.
with a couple of people working on it to basically sharpen these things to make them sharper.
Okay. So we would be able to leave tomorrow.
If you only want that, just the sharpened spikes.
Right. As well as the.
So you want
weapons.
so that it's two.
Yeah,
It's
two things.
You're asking for 2 things.
Two things.
Actually, asking for 3 things.
2 chains.
2 chains over here.
Brick the brick, 2 chains.
Von
Brick.
Oh, the DC is your monk DC. For the staggering
For staggering smite?
So whatever that's 14, I think, for you.
Yes.
Wisdom plus proficiency plus 8.
Yes, 14.
So you go. That's that.
Awesome.
Anything else?
Just a thought, Cedric, while we are here.
Did you want to start attuning to the other one? Okay.
If Brina ends up only attuning to one of these knuckles, would the magic be something you could imbue in your spikes?
Ooh, that's fancy. Fancy thoughts. Fancy prayers.
Well, I think you'd only get one of them. I'm assuming Brina only wishes to use minimum one.
So he says,
It's already so good.
we could probably. He said, well, who are you taking? You need to know who else is here, is what you're telling me.
Yeah.
Alright. So let me get my pen so I can mark these off as I go down this here. Which is going apparently. So we've got Crunch, who's the Jaws. We got Rolly and Pulley, who can curl up into a ball, climb walls, and all that stuff with their spikes. You got Waffle Stomp, that's 4. You got Dizzy, the one who can burrow underground.
Yep.
And he'll also tell you that when grappled, Dizzy can spin all the things as well to deal more damage when grappled or grappling. Right. So that's 5, right? 1, 2, 4, 5.
Yeah.
There's Winko, who is the one who obviously can displace. That's 6. Eberk, he didn't have a cool name. He's the guy who grows.
Okay.
He's this size.
Is there E. Ernie?
No. It's Burke with a K.
Burke.
Good?
Yeah.
Tordek is the guy who sets himself on fire.
Right.
With the alchemist fire.
Okay.
You know what they say when they see his girlfriend? Oh, that's Torchic.
That was pretty good, Pat. I give you that one. You get a little clap.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
I hear she's got VD.
Who?
A little clap.
His girlfriend.
Torchic.
He works.
Oh, I haven't been.
Listening.
Yeah,
That's fair. We're just making dumb jokes, so.
I'm keeping an eye out for
Your
enemies.
Yes. Unlikely.
That's what people think right before an ambush.
Oh. Alright, well then you keep on keeping on. Good job.
Okay.
And then there's you. Do I want to include one of these? Huh. So they will tell you that Karrak is the other guy. One of the other guys. Karrak, he's a little bit weird.
Oh yeah, I like
So Karrak has been experimenting with
drugs.
cobalt technology
Ooh.
and trying to incorporate it into his armor.
All right.
And he has basically acquired some of the, well, they call them, the kobolds call them pyro converters.
Okay.
And he's incorporated one into each of his suit's arms, but it's not perfected yet. So his
Might blow up a little.
he'll basically tell you, he's like, so Tordek sets himself on fire. So he becomes a ball of fire, and he's running around attacking things. All this stuff is doing fire damage on top of all the regular damage. We also had to build in some resistance to it so that he wouldn't die from being on fire.
As one would attempt to avoid.
Right. And so that was his whole thing, is he wanted himself to be dangerous. Karrak said, yeah, I get this. We're always up front. We're always fighting this stuff. But this kobold shit's crazy. What if I could do what Tordek's doing, but better and further away? So he also, they'll tell you that Tordek prefers alchemist fire, but you can put holy water in there. Or acid.
Right.
The cartridges are the same. It's just which type you want.
Okay. Depending on what's useful.
And Karrak has basically, these pyro convergers, for lack of a better term, are flamethrowers. But
Iron Man 1.
they're experimental, so yeah, so if they don't, after so long, we haven't perfected how to prevent them from backfiring. So it works for a while, and then they hang up, and then he gets set on fire, and then he has to stop and fix it.
Alright, fair enough.
So that's that. Then
Last one.
last one is Zira. She don't have any clever name for her thing either.
Zira.
Not exactly.
Not exactly. It would be cool though.
Yep, that's her special power.
That'd be badass.
It would be pretty cool. He tells you that she focused on poisons.
Ooh.
And injecting, like jettisoning the spikes out.
Oh, yeah.
And it doesn't do a lot, but she can have, basically put hypodermic needles in her arm blade so she can inject things into stuff.
Nice.
Which really only works on those, but she worked on a way to jettison out and regrow, like a porcupine, her spikes. She can kind of move into an area, and then she's defenseless for a bit.
Right.
Defenseless.
But not offensive.
And then they grow back, and she can do it again.
Nice. Alright, let me talk to the team real quick. Hey team, what do you guys think? We going Karrak?
Sure.
I don't care.
Yes.
Karrak's the flamethrower.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go.
Why
I can put
not?
him out, but sounds sketchy.
Yeah. But who would you prefer?
Tordic.
So you'd rather have... Yeah, but he ends up on fire too.
He can put himself out.
Yeah, you shouldn't take any damage from it.
Yeah. His armor is built in such a way that it prevents him from absorbing it.
But can you turn it off once it's on?
Yeah, no, it just burns out over time. It goes till it doesn't, like usually about a minute, and then it burns out. Then it needs to resupply.
Or maybe the bigger guy. Yes,
But how would that help with the dragon?
utilitarian value and make it grappled.
Yeah, I mean, the dragon's not gonna it might just eat somebody.
Sure.
But I don't know.
Need a
That
quick escape.
digging a hole's not really the quickest escape, especially from a dragon that could be like, "Oh, look at you guys all in a line together."
And if it's a big dragon, you'd just be like, group.
Yeah.
I will add a thought
Yeah.
that, from what we've heard, black dragons tend to like marsh areas, and digging less effective water.
It's a great point. Alright, so Dizzy's out. Crunch is no good.
What about the stomper dude?
Waffle. Alright, so we can.
May I ask,
Does he make waffles?
Mr. McNuckles,
Yeah.
how long would it take
We can
to
do
get
waffle.
these men from the front lines?
And he says, it depends on which one you want. They're in different, they have different skill sets. They're in different places. So, day, maybe 2, 3 at the most, depending on how entrenched they are at the moment.
Thank you.
We gotta send somebody, one of these other guys here, back in to fill the spot.
That should influence your decision.
Let's just take Crunch. Where's Waffle Stopper?
And he'll go over and he'll pull up a ledger. And he'll look through and kind of see where the different deployments are. And he'll tell you that Waffle Stomper is down by the Dark Lake. He's there, so it, you know, I mean, he also has means of moving a little faster than everybody.
Right.
So he could probably be back in it.
Alright, how about Kazakh?
And they say they keep Kazakh back further because if he sets himself on fire, they may need to fix him, bring him back.
No, so he's about a day away too.
He's probably a little bit less.
Alright. What do you think?
I've influenced you more than I should have.
I'm gonna go with my gut then. And go with Waffle Stopper because I feel like he should be able to make waffles. If he can't, I'll be disappointed. So,
You are a strange group.
also the ability to jump on top of the back of a dragon seems incredibly useful.
I don't know why that's the second thing you
It's
listed.
not really. I was just trying to be lighthearted
Why?
because that's my attitude.
Is it?
Sometimes when I feel like it.
Always look on the bright
Alright.
side of life.
What are you doing with your shoulders?
Dancing.
That is not a dance I've seen.
I think it's a human thing.
Ah.
What's your opinion on elves?
I have no opinion on elves.
Fair enough. What's your opinion on waffles?
They are a satisfactory means of sustenance.
I disagree with you there.
Sure.
So what did this guy that you're after do? Makes him so bad.
I didn't ask.
Really?
In general, those that Kellenvor sends me after have remained on this plane when they should not have. Usually through some sinister means. They should already be dead, and I set that straight.
Fair enough.
Wonder if it's
Yeah, I mean, you were just set out on this mission, right?
Yes.
Like, how long ago would you say?
10 day.
And you're from where?
A monastery.
Hey, me too.
Monastery where?
Sit there.
It could take a while to reach there.
Do you have a name for this scourge?
Yeah. Let me think really hard.
I'll be here.
While this is going on, you will say, as they think really hard for an hour, you attune to the second knuckle.
Yes.
Are you ready?
Yes.
When you make a successful melee attack with prayers, you regain 1d4 hit points.
Ooh.
And it does a d4 radiant damage in addition to the base damage.
This one heals you as you go?
Yeah, d4 per punch.
Perfect.
And once per long rest, you can cast Blinding Smite. If you attune to both, which is 2 slots, that extra d4 of damage becomes a d6 of damage.
Brina just got way better.
Way better. I say keep both of those.
Oh yeah, I'm keeping both of them.
But now you're fully attuned.
Yeah, well, we'll cross that hurdle when we come
Can
in.
you give the raps to Rick?
You could do the raps too.
Yeah, but I'm just
Just do a
saying.
d6
Yeah, I
plus a
know.
d6 plus a
If she-
d8.
If she needs it in an attunement slot at some point in the future,
Yeah.
just give him to Rick so he could.
Yeah, his unarmed strikes, which would do a d4 plus his strength, would do a d8 thunder damage on top for a minute.
D6 thunder damage.
Is it a d6?
Yeah.
Alright, whatever I said. d6. I think they're +1.
They're +1.
They're +1, so you'd have a +1 to your adamantine punches.
Oh, yeah. That'd be great.
Alright,
You have so much bonus action utility. 2 smite spells.
so what's the, what are we doing to this armor?
Crag, what's the plan?
And he says, well, the plan is, you pay me,
Right.
or do me a favor, and I'll do this.
All right.
You said you had 100 gold.
I have 198 gold.
He goes, that is not enough.
For anything?
Not really.
What about just the harpoon?
With throwing it?
Sure. Yeah, if we can, would we be able to modify
what
it
else
later?
what else you got?
I mean, I got a bunch of stuff.
I like stuff, but I like stuff of value. It'll be useful to me.
Oh shit, I got a lot in that.
Did you not save anything on your adventures?
Save stuff?
Money, I meant.
Oh, no, actually.
In case a scenario like this came up.
Actually, in debt for the horse.
Oh,
He owes me 700 gold.
that's more than I expected you to say.
I have this silver chalk that erases rust.
Not bad, but adamantine doesn't rust.
That's true.
Right?
That's a good point, but I mean, I figure you might end up with something rusty.
I mean, that's fair.
I can offer tattoos. Not really value, but we can do it.
It is a skill.
I don't want to give up my glue. And I don't want to give up the Titan Blade yet either.
You make me a wisdom check.
Me?
Yeah.
Well, just to get the heart.
22.
So you didn't learn the actual technique. I mean, it is a technique, and you could learn it for you to go back and you get some training. But there is a technique when a large amount of gems is ground up into the ink for making tattoos that you can only ever get it once, but you can do things where we're talking like over 2,000 gold worth of gems. Different kinds of gems do different things, but you could tattoo someone in such a way that you could give them a permanent +1 to a stat.
Ooh.
It's like 2,200 gold, and like Constitution is 3,000.
Mm-hmm.
but you can get one, or for a little bit more, you could for actually about double that. You could tattoo someone to give them resistance to a damage type based on the different gems that you use. You don't know how to do it.
Yeah.
You know that people in the monastery do. And were you a little more focused on your training, maybe you could have learned that. But that's a thing that you could do.
Okay, in the future.
In the future. But it doesn't. It's not a huge.
Now,
it's not a huge bargaining chip at the moment because you're like, I could maybe do this thing one time if I learn how to do it.
But it'd have to be in the future.
It'd have to be in the future, yeah. So it would be about, like I said, about 5,000-ish, about double the price, and it's all of a certain type of gem, right? Like diamonds is for the Constitution bonus, that kind of thing, and it would give you.
I know, he stole my money.
All
He
your
did
money.
not steal even close to all your money.
He stole a lot of my money.
He stole some.
He stole most of my money.
He's should have been nicer. I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah.
So
How much would it cost for just the harpoon? Just so I could just throw it.
and he goes, so what you're basically asking for, as that is you're just asking for an adamantine harpoon.
With a chain.
With a chain, right?
Yeah.
But it's just a harpoon. Like, nothing crazy about that. It's just a harpoon with a chain.
Yeah, or maybe they open up. Alright, so that it hooks in better.
Sure. So, but right now, like, you're not asking. It's not like this isn't tied into your armor at all. This is just a harpoon with a chain. Is what I'm hearing.
But you wanted it in your armor, though, right?
Yeah, but I don't have any money.
How much would it cost?
Well, he says, I'm just trying to figure out what he wants, because we've talked about many different things so
That's
far.
true.
Yeah.
And every time he comes back, he's like, well, what if you did this? And I'm like, yeah, I could do that. And you're like, okay, but what if we didn't do it that way? We did it this way.
Alright, let's talk about cost right now for the harpoon.
Just a harpoon with a chain.
With a chain. And then I can just wrap it around my armor for now.
He goes, it doesn't look like shit, but I don't know I can do that.
I'm not worried about how it looks. I'm worried about how it functions.
Clearly, and he points at your slippers.
Those slippers are beautiful. I wish I could.
Bragg has a great sense of humor.
You got a nice fitting breastplate too.
He's like, yeah, it looks
It's a little thin in areas.
He goes, He goes, raw material alone for an adamantine harpoon, and I assume an adamantine chain to go with it. He goes, you're looking at like, probably raw material is like 500 gold. That.
Alright, well, you know what?
And he goes, but, if you do want all these other little intricacies and things like that, we could take some off and put some back on, and, But right now you just want a pointy stick with a chain.
Yep.
That's what it sounds like. So it goes, if you've got...
I have 200 gold, the silver chalk, and 50 gold worth of garnet. I also have a potion of cold resistance.
Man, don't really get cold down here.
That's true.
Is that something you could incorporate and give them temporary or permanent cold resistance?
He says...
I can do that with a tattoo. Well, I could do that with a tattoo.
He says temporary would, honestly, just drink the potion.
Yes.
He goes, I need several potions to make that a thing. I need more material.
That makes sense.
Also, I'm not a potion guy, so I need somebody who could...
Wait, you are more familiar with removing growth from Durgar and putting it into armor than with potions.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah. That's
it's a dwarven thing.
Alchemy versus smithing.
That's how you... What?
They're also similar. They're dwarves. They were like us one time. Mind flayers. It's a thing. Yes.
Okay.
From the surface, that is counterintuitive. But
Because I'm not saying that we couldn't do it. I just don't know how to make potions.
fair.
So we'll push it for now. Come back later when I got money.
Yeah. Unless you got something else.
The only other
Pretty
thing.
shiny sword you got on your back.
Yeah, it's pretty great. I'll pull it off. I'll show him its ability. Bigger. Hold on to it. I do. Make it bigger again. Have to hold on to it. Oh, what is it? It's 20 the second time?
Yeah.
Alright, so I hold on to it again. Make it bigger a third time. I mean, it's fucking, I don't even know how big it is. I've never done it this big before.
5d6 per swing. 25.
No. I got a 24.
Ah, so close.
Yeah, it's down.
Fucking thick heavy. That's the saving throw.
What a saving throw. He's like, well, that. Yeah, I could do everything you asked for that, for sure.
That might come in handy for the dragon.
Yeah, see.
Whereas time. Yes.
Yeah, so. You know what? We're gonna go kill the dragon. I assume that there will be some sort of gold there.
Oh yeah,
One
dragons.
would warrant.
That's
Yes,
important.
yes.
So, got this shield too, but you can have that. No, I know I'm not. So I appreciate all the thought that you've put into this, but I can't right now because I'm fucking broke. Because my little halfling friend, well, I still like it. He's cool, dude. I can't really blame him for leaving.
I miss him.
Yeah, this was cool.
The nicest any of you have been
This is just-
about or to us.
Stole all of our money. All of my money, really.
Oh, sounds like a bad friend.
He does.
He had a lot of flaws. But, you know, he had his good parts too, just like everyone.
Sure.
I don't plan things out well. That's one of my flaws.
I'm learning
I'm
that.
also not quiet. That's both of my
He
flaws.
goes, oh,
He's not.
that's a thing we could do.
Sneak.
Later, man. Later. You
Just
keep
saying.
saying it.
Well, you keep saying, you keep
We're
bringing
going,
stuff
we're
up.
going towards the dragons. Being sneaky might help.
I don't have any money.
How much would it be to just make him sneaky and quiet?
Meanwhile, I'm still quiet.
Yeah, that's right. Never mind.
And he goes, for like 1,000 gold, I can get in there and we can soften all the joints.
No.
And we can add nice supple leather to the inside to remove the squeaking. But it's a process, and I don't like working with leather.
Yeah, never mind. It's
Fair enough.
Don't worry about
But
it.
we could do it. It just can take a little while.
Alternate.
Also, you won't have your armor while I'm doing that.
Yes. Are you able to cast like a silence spell?
No.
Is it something that you would be able to cast with a scroll?
I'm gonna say probably. Wait. I always forget how scrolls work.
It's
It has
on
to
your
be on my
spell
spell
list, then you can cast it.
Okay.
From a scroll, no problem.
Doesn't have to be something I have learned.
No. The difference is with like Eldritch Knight and that kind of stuff. They have the spell list of those two types of like abjuration and evocation, and then whatever their other ones are.
Yeah.
Just like a bard's magical secrets puts that technically on their spell list, so they can cast them from scrolls.
I don't think I can cast silence. It's not a warlock or a sorcerer spell.
It's not a sorcerer spell.
What? Well, second level, right?
Second level, yeah. Oh, it's a wizard spell.
Scorching Ray, See Invisibility, Shatter,
It's a bard
Spider
spell.
Climb, Suggestion. It's a cleric spell.
It's a cleric spell.
Mm.
It's a wizard spell. Maybe a bard spell.
Yep. Bard,
Everything you're not.
It's a
cleric.
ranger spell.
Ranger.
It's a ranger spell.
It's everything you are not.
It's a druid spell?
It is not a paladin spell. It is not a druid spell.
Alright.
It is not. It is not a wizard spell.
Really?
Silent image is the only thing there. Oh wait, I was looking at first level. Sorry.
There's just so many.
Not a wizard spell either.
Weird.
Great way to shut down a spellcaster.
Yeah. No. Alright, that's fine.
I can teleport someone up to 90 feet.
Alright, that could work wonderfully. And I can do that.
With one other person.
Yeah, I mean, that's...
It does create a loud noise from where we leave. And it does hurt people around there.
all acceptable. Crag, can you send word after Waffle Stomper
Sure.
that we need his help fighting the dragon?
Sure.
Winko, my man.
He's
Come
like,
fight a dragon with us. Big ass black dragon.
and he's just like, yep,
Damn straight.
okay,
Alright.
yeah.
We're gonna leave tomorrow. And we are gonna kick some ass.
Crunch is just like,
Crunch. Nice hat. And then I leave.
all right. So you send, he will send word to Waffle Stomper, and Crunch will actually, Crunch will just deliver the word to Waffle Stomper. He'll go out and relieve him to send him back to come help you. You have the shield.
Yep.
You'll have 2 of the Knuckle Dusters on your team, and no other weapons.
Fair enough.
And well, you have weapons.
I'm gonna punch some guy.
You're a punch.
Is there any other weapons, Pat? Other than, like, what were you using before you got vigilance?
Javelins.
Just a straight up longsword.
Yeah.
That's his only magic weapon.
I'll stick that whip, which might have been.
And Chongo had the dagger, which
Chongo
would
had
definitely
the
been
sweet-
useful for
me.
you
Oh
now.
god, yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe you'll meet Chongo.
Maybe.
God willing. Sorry, Kellenborn willing.
Kellenborn willing.
So-
Sword and willing.
What if John goes out? It's not. I know it's not.
Then it would be a
That'd be
beautiful
rough.
battle.
That's
One
what
that
I
Jungle
was
would lose.
As we're leaving, sorry. Oh, I remember the names of those guys that may be in Gouger. Do the names.
What? Guys.
The guys who I was talking to you earlier before I was talking to Crag, like, hey man, were you looking for the Scourge? That's what Wave said.
Thought it was only one guy.
No, there's 2 guys, maybe. We don't know.
Oh,
Is one of them Osler?
maybe.
Do you smile like that? Or is that Is the other one Chiron?
That's Osler of Chiron.
Osler v. Chiron. The
That is
Supreme Court case. So you say maybe and then no?
No.
I feel like that's what you said.
That is not what I said.
I was right here.
No, I'm deceiving you.
It's not working.
No.
Make a deception check.
I'm not believing you.
No, you are.
Does he have disadvantage for how bad he was deceiving me?
No.
No, because Sean is not his character. Even though they are the same person often. Flint and Sean were very similar.
Yeah, Flint was a great guy. An 8.
I can insight worse than that. Watch me.
No! He's lying.
You're lying.
No.
Yes, you are. You know how I know?
Because my mouth is moving.
No.
Oh, that's a common insult.
Oh, well, a common thing to do in Karrak-Faern is to not lie to people that you're trying to travel with. Alright.
What is the downside of trying to lie?
It's rude.
Sometimes you fail, and then you look silly, like you do right now.
Haha.
That's not much of a downside.
So, Osler then.
Oh, man. Cedric, I would appreciate it if you try to keep.
Alright, I can do that for you.
That is appreciated.
Is there any other information that we should know about this guy?
I just got his name.
Damn. I don't believe you now, though. It's hard to believe you because you lied to me. So now everything you say is like...
I was told
Trust
to
is
keep
broken.
a secret. And I failed.
Yeah. I'm sharp. And spiky.
No, I got what you meant.
Yes. Alright, you know what? Fine. That's fine. Because that was probably our fault to begin with. So you being here is actually... we should thank you for coming to help.
You're welcome.
And I think that if you stick with us, we will probably end up back where that whole issue started. And in fact, we'll even help you deal with it.
We will help
Each other. Yeah, we'll be like a team. A TM.
That's
That is
A SpongeBob reference.
something I'm... That sounds nice. I can shake better than that. Like IRL, just like it was far.
Yeah, it was. I agree. I could also shake
Yeah,
better than that.
bad. We'll do it later. We'll do it off screen.
But on screen, like our characters gave like a
good one.
manly handshake
With a solid 12.
Yeah. So let's go eat. Buy anything we need to go fight a dragon.
You might want a new weapon.
Why?
To fight with the shield.
Oh, yeah.
His weapons are too large for one hand.
I can beat the shit out of him.
You good?
Fair.
That's my plan.
I mean, this spike right here, magic.
They do D8s?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So it'd be hard to beat.
Fair.
So normally I like the feeling of having two things in one hand. No, you don't.
I got what you meant.
All right, cool. We are going to have rice and beans for dinner. Cool. I bought the stuff at the market. All right, let's go.
Okay.
You put up a hood?
Yep.
Okay.
You are an odd group of adventurers.
We used to be an odds group of adventurers. But all that changed.
That was your little friend, right?
Yeah.
You guys talk about him a lot.
Yeah, well, he was an important part of our unit.
Then why did
He leave?
you drive him away?
First off,
Just look at me, Sean. I don't know what you're talking about, that.
we didn't drive him away. He chose to leave.
He did.
What's the difference?
I mean,
It's not our
I didn't do it. It wasn't like we purposely made him leave.
We didn't purposely make him.
Did your actions cause him to leave?
I don't think my actions caused him to leave, no.
Yeah, you laughed at him.
First off, you don't even know that because you weren't there.
Yes, I was.
Not as I remember.
I was there.
I know, but whatever.
You were sneaking.
I was sneaking. I was there.
So he might not have seen
No,
it.
I know, you weren't. Secondly, he was very sensitive.
He was.
Okay.
He was a delicate guy.
And right before he left, he decided to steal a bunch of money from the town that Wave's from.
Okay.
So that seemed wrong.
Why did he steal money from the town?
Because he wanted to.
Oh.
So,
So
I mean, it was there.
Like he stole from the
town hall?
He stole from
The
the
ship house?
town docks, yeah.
How did he not get caught?
Because the town had just been attacked by a dragon.
So he stole from people he knew were suffering and needed the money.
Yes.
Yeah.
He sounds like a bad person.
Sometimes. All in all, I'd have forgiven him, though. Then he left, so that was that. Alright, cool.
Alright.
We made it back to Kraken.
Yeah, sure.
Alright. Oh, man.
Back to the retirement home.
Yep.
I'd like to not die here someday.
Fair.
It smells nice here. It smells like the Temple of Karrak-Faern.
I could go there then. Maybe someday we'll go to the Temple of Karrak-Faern together.
Maybe.
Not die. Alright, I'm gonna cook dinner.
Mhm.
We're gonna go to bed. Everybody's gonna get a solid night's sleep. You should take care of your horse and your egg. You should punch some rocks for a while. See how that goes. You should maybe do a little prayer, maybe do a little reflection on why lying to people is wrong. I am,
Gonna think about all the stuff he could have had.
no, I'm just gonna drink instead
Fair.
of thinking.
They rhyme. So they're interchangeable. Like
Right.
naps and craps.
Oh, God. Are those interchangeable?
They both make you feel better.
That's true.
Unless you crap and you.
Yes,
I
that's why
don't know
they're...
if that's humanly possible.
Poop yourself while you're sleeping?
Yeah, I don't think you can do it.
That's quitter talk, Ted. I believe in you.
What if you have real bad diarrhea?
I don't think the human body is capable of shitting and sleeping at the same time.
I feel like
You would have to be like incredibly sick in order.
I feel like you
Yeah.
could shit yourself while you were sleeping, but the act of shitting would wake you up.
Yes.
I guess.
Black or
Agreed.
drunk? Does that count as sleeping?
that counts as incredibly
What if
sick.
it's a shark?
Maybe.
A sleepy shark? That'd be the worst! Because you wouldn't even know about, like, it would be
would
too
kinda be like-
subtle.
like you could.
Let's keep playing.
Yeah.
I feel like that's a pretty good note to end this
All right.
conversation.
All
We are
right.
a little past midnight here. Technical difficulties came out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Stream Deck just stopped working over here. And the touchscreen monitor is not touchscreeny anymore. So I can't switch cameras and pull up people's combat stats or any of that.
Man.
And the lighting on mine, though, the white balance turned off. So I look very pale and blue. And you guys look very warm.
Aw.
And cuddly.
Oh.
So. But anyway, we will be back next week with Evil Game.
Oh, yeah.
So we'll see what happens
Patrick.
to Patrick, who's an undead version of himself or
Oh
something.
yeah, that's right.
And depending on which towns you guys go to, other people.
Wow, that is the best campaign to become undead in.
It is.
People game?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because, like, most other adventuring parties would not be okay with that.
No.
You guys, but our guys are just like, oh, he's a badass.
We also don't know that he's undead.
Yeah, but even if we found out, we'd be like, okay.
Yeah, well, there's
And
so there's that, but also we don't. We also have no way of telling. The only one who could tell if they're undead is him, with divine sense.
Arla?
Arla?
Can she?
Is she?
Is there a cleric spell that does that? Oh, if she turned.
Yeah, she turned undead,
Then
or
you
if she
would have
cast
to
detect
see.
good and evil.
Yeah.
That also tells about undeads.
Oh shit, y'all evil.
That's not what she
She
sounds
just
like,
knows
as
that.
far as I knew.
No.
So
That's a
yeah.
different guy. You haven't met him yet.
Oh, I'm excited to meet him.
Yeah, no, it'll be good because we got.
Charles is gonna be like,
We are.
Yeah, Charles will freak out.
Charles Wood.
Wild.
Charles in charge.
I don't know what other stuff we got going on. I forget what we were gonna go steal. Oh, from the warehouse.
Yeah, I wanna get
so I can
everything.
get my spike.
And maybe steal some other stuff over there.
Yeah, exactly.
Make a little money. Maybe.
I
discover what's going on underneath the city.
Oh yeah.
Check out
Taylor.
The mutants. Find a tailor.
Magic Taylor.
maybe a Lonelywood. Maybe go get some hooers.
Try to grab a kid.
hooers.
Hooers. Ride a what?
I said try to grab a kid.
Yeah, steal a kid.
Kidnap.
I honestly feel like at this point,
I mean, it's probably not.
you should, like, you're 18 for that should be temerity, because you could just magic, hey kid, come here.
Yeah. He wasn't there.
That one.
Well, you didn't ask.
You
That's
didn't
true.
invite him.
That's true.
Really, the prime person who can look like other people and
That's fair.
convince people to do what he says.
To be fair, if you
Next time,
like were like, oh hey kids,
they would have.
you might have been able to. But there's lots of options internet. But you would have to go back and watch the last evil game, which is
true.
out.
2 evil games ago.
Listen, Darian's pretty. She's not smart.
Yeah, it's
She's devious.
before next week. They will all. I mean, they all exist, but
Ideally, yes. But
the published
I'm sure they
versions
don't.
of Evil Game number 10 and Evil Game number 11 will be out before next game, which will be Evil Game number 12.
That's the key.
Yeah.
So,
Alright, make sure you, if you haven't already, follow us on Instagram, Facebook, all social media.
Check out Initiative Coffee and Elderwood Academy. They're great.
And,
We love you.
yeah, don't forget to check out the game Ted's playing in tomorrow, and...
Have a happy Thanksgiving.
Oh,
if
that
you're
too.
watching in America, I don't know people watching in other countries.
yeah, we do have a couple. I do to those points. Those are all good points. If you guys have seen my video on this beautiful thing,
It's so
collector's
pretty.
edition version of you can't see it, but the screen that's down here and the collector's edition version of the Player's Handbook, Monster Manual, and Dungeon Master Guide. We are, I think, about 100, maybe a little less than 100 followers away on Twitch from 2,000, and under 70 away from 5,000 on Twitter. So if we hit either one of those, the giveaway will activate, where I will be giving away a brand new copy of this box set with those 3 limited edition books and the limited edition Dungeon Master screen.
They have a very nice matte finish.
How do we enter into that?
Once it goes live, it hasn't happened yet.
Well, I know.
But once it goes live, I will post a video detailing it. It'll also be posted on all social media. It'll be a Gleam giveaway, typical thing, which is basically if you're following us subscribing to us on YouTube and following us on Twitch, which half of that you have to do in the first place just to even have this happen. That's all it is. That's all you need to do to enter the giveaway. And then there's tons of other things like go and visiting all the other social medias we alluded to, retweeting the tweet that has the giveaway. If you subscribe to us on Twitch, even if it's just the base level, or via Twitch Prime, that's 10 extra entries into the giveaway when it goes live. So all of that kind of stuff will happen, and that will allow you to enter to win. It'll probably run for about 2 weeks. If we manage to hit both the Twitch and the Twitter goal, so both, I will give away this as the first prize, and I will give away the standard edition box set, which is all of those, but the base edition without the collector's edition cover as a second place prize. And there'll be dice and things thrown in there as well, intermixed, because I have plenty of those to give away.
And if you want, we'll all sign up for you.
Yeah, if you want.
But if you don't want, then that's also.
Yeah, do it.
Yeah.
They might.
If
Some
you-
of these people might want that.
Yeah, if you
True, we don't know your life.
want that as an
We don't know what you
option,
prefer.
we'll get some
Oh, you guys.
We will give you an original Jake's Lean dick picture.
You should explain that.
It's a cartoon.
That's fine.
We draw little cartoons. That's all you need to know.
That, I was about to say that.
I think
You-
we
you
should
guys
left
should-
it with some mystique.
You should illustrate
We'll
it
illustrate a
with
picture.
some kind of wiener picture.
Anyway,
Because
that's
they would
We
be
have so
big
many.
wieners. Good internet.
yeah.
Oh, that could
So
be the picture.
tomorrow,
You're the number one.
tomorrow night, twitch.tv/The Mighty Dungeon, I will be playing Varys, the light cleric. And then next week will be PAX Unplugged. Sean and I will be there all weekend. Come say hi. We'll see you guys next time.
Well,
I would switch cameras, but I can't.
Yeah, not from here.
Things are not working. I also have to stop the camera
Yeah.
out here.
So until then, that's it. That's it.
that's
Until then, we're done.
yeah.
Tell them goodbye.